Hello again, it's Noob, and in front of us is quite an unassuming looking half euro here, by a brand you probably don't know anything about, called CarlF. And I admit it's not really a well-known brand, but it's one that you see out and about when you're in the UK. And what's odd about it is it does have a really strange name, CarlF. But then we also get things like Chavo and Vitawin and all sorts of other strange names for Euro cylinders here in the UK, so I suppose CarlF is not really anything to worry about. Now, what's interesting about this lock was it was sent to me alongside this lock-picking journal, which somebody called Tom sent me, and there'll be a video on that. If I haven't released it already, there'll be one soon. And the reason he sent this to me was because he was having some real problems with it. He picked it eventually and said that there are some really deep spools, and wow, he is not wrong. And I think it's definitely worth doing a video just on this lock to just show you quite how an unassuming little euro like this, with nothing but a couple of spools and probably a standard pin in it, I've not gutted it yet, can really surprise you. Right, let me go grab that vise. So we're in the vise, and before we start, let's just have a look at this key, which is very smooth and not worn at all actually. It looks like it must have been a spare key or newly cut, I'm not entirely sure. But you can see here that I suppose in some ways it's got some quite extreme cuts for a lock of this type. It's quite close to the maximum adjacent cut heights here. So you've got to sort of get past pin 1 there to pick pin 2 and 5 to pick pin 6. Not too bad, but it's actually these high cuts here, which if combined with a very good spool pin with a very thin spindle, can actually cause a lot of problems. Because you have to push the spool pin up, it'll drop into a false set. You have to then push it up really high again, and by that point it'll be at quite an extreme angle in the lock, and just will be very difficult. You won't get much feedback. It really is quite a nice feature, especially if you've got, like I said, good spool pins in here. So a bitting like that plus good spool pins, it can be a challenge. Right, let's see if I can get into a bit of a false set. Light medium tension, pin 3, pin 5, pin 1. Pin 6, there we go. Any modeling else? Pin 2, and into a false set, and just nudge another pin into a deeper false set. Let me show you this, he says, without trying to lose tension. Just going to, I won't suggest you do this, by the way, halfway through picking a lock. This is a bit silly, but just look at the amount of deflection here. That's where it was, and it's rotated all the way through to this angle here. It's quite a big turn, and that's because you've got a spool pin lying across here like that, with the head probably there and the top of the head here, and it's just lying at an angle, causing us all sorts of, well, I say problems, but frankly fun. So let's get that in, try and hold it without losing that tension. Got so far, don't want to lose our hard work. There we go. And let's see if we can feel for anything that's actually binding. So yes, I can actually. I'll feel pin 4 here. There we go, that's set. Another one, pin 5, set. Let's go through pin 3 now. Ooh, risky, I'm going to leave that. Pin 2. Oh, yes, but I dropped something, probably at the back. Let's have a look. Pin 6 on feel. There we go, back into that full set. Pin 5 needs to be set now. Good, but drop pin 6 again. And we are open, there we go. It's just a great lock, this one. I'm genuinely, even though I've picked hundreds of Euro cylinders in my time, I'm always pleased when we get one which is just a little bit more challenging. And it's challenging because of just a really nice setup. I have not gutted this yet, but I'm guaranteeing you that we will end up with some very nice thin spindled spools at some of those high cuts. Or at least I really hope we do, because I might look a bit silly otherwise. Okay, let's gut this thing. So here we are. We did have some spool pins, not quite where I was expecting, but certainly on position 2, which was and 3, which are, you know, relatively short pins. But just look at the thin nature of those pins. They are just superb, aren't they? I mean, look how thin the spindle is on those spools. I mean, this is one of the more extreme spools that I've ever seen. Actually, it's really, really thin and lovely. Actually, really, really nice as well. Certainly gives you an epic full set and actually a lot of fun. So there you go. So yeah, nothing too special with key pins, all standard. And then you've got 4 standard pins in positions 1, 4, 5, and 6, but positions 2 and 3 have these super spools in. If you also had a spool in instead in position, I would say 4 and 6, that would make it again even harder. At least that's what I'm saying. Any beveling on? I think there is a little beveling on the key pins there, but no, it could just be wear. It's hard to tell. It's definitely an older lock that's had some use. Still, nevertheless, good fun lock. Thanks to Tom for sending that to me. Hope you enjoyed the video and learnt something too, and I'll see you all next time.